Hello, everyone. Welcome to the market simulation call for fall 2022 release. My name is Anshuman Vedda, and today is September 19th. Calls and webinars are recorded for stakeholder convenience, allowing those who are unable to attend to listen to the recordings after the meetings. These recordings will be publicly available on the ISO web page for a limited time following the meetings. These recordings and any related transcriptions should not be reprinted without the ISO permission. We'll talk through the following agenda today. We'll talk about the map stage availability. We'll talk about the connectivity testing for fall 2022 release. We'll talk about the different initiatives and timelines for the projects in this release. And then we'll talk about system interface changes, followed by the different initiatives. And then we'll talk about the known issues and the next steps. So for map stage availability, you can always log into portalmap.kaiser.com to get up-to-date system information. Currently, we don't have any maintenance scheduled, and the upcoming maintenance are the CMRI and OSS maintenance on 9/23. We were planning to have these maintenance on 9/16, but that has been moved to 9/23. Anybody have any questions regarding map stage maintenance? All right, moving on. So for connectivity testing, we had the ALF system ready for our connectivity testing as we discussed in earlier meetings. Currently today, we also are opening master file system for connectivity testing. And in the future, we'll be opening CMRI and OSS system on 26th of September for connectivity testing. Anybody have any questions regarding these dates for connectivity testing?
Hey, Anshuman, this is Isaac with SCE. We noticed that for master file API-wise, we are still not able to connect to MapStage.
Let me check on that, Isaac, but I'll open up for any KAISO people if they have any update on this.
Hi, Isaac. This is Trang. We just made that available earlier today, so depending on when you tried, it would not have worked earlier this morning, but this was just about a couple hours ago, maybe an hour or two ago, that the API was made available. So was it recently that you tried? And
yeah, we tried earlier this morning, so we will have our vendor try again now, and we'll report any issues. But while I'm on this subject, the master file was the hybrid resources that we submitted loaded into your system yet? Because when I looked at the master file in the UI, pulling the report, I don't see them being reflected as hybrid.
So Isaac, for the resources, we have already uploaded the resources that were submitted via CD tickets. We're still working on putting in the resources that were submitted via email.
I see. Okay.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Instrument, can you hear me?
Yes, Junior, go ahead.
Oh, yes. So for the master file, so you guys still doing some configuration, right? We will not be able to see under the master file you mark as a hybrid yet, correct?
We have opened it, Junior, so you should be able to see everything now.
Right. Okay, so they're all done configuration wise?
As I was mentioning, yes,
yeah, so the system is available. I believe Chanyu is asking about the data setup for PG&E specific requests for their resources to be set up.
Right. So as I was mentioning to Isaac, Chanyu, we have put in the resources that were submitted via CD ticket, and we're still working on the resources that were submitted via email to have them uploaded and be available on the master file UI.
Okay. All right. So if we see any any discrepancies at this point. Shall we open a ticket or shall we wait?
Let me work with my SME, but if you find some discrepancy, it doesn't hurt to open a CD ticket. That will make sure that, we definitely have that resource in the system. So,
okay.
Yeah, please go ahead and put a CD if you find any discrepancy.
Okay, thank you. My second question is that looks like CMRI and Oasis today has moved from the 19th to the 26th. Is that correct?
That is correct, Sunil. We are planning to deploy by 9/23 for CMRI and Oasis and have it available for connectivity testing to 26th.
Right. So under the new day, what day of the market data shall we expect to see in those reports?
So I was about to get to that. So let me just ask if anybody has any other questions regarding connectivity testing, and I'll get to your questions on the dates when we are on the next slide, if that's okay, Junior.
Thank you. Yeah, sure.
Thank you. All right, I don't hear any other questions, so let's move on. And here are the dates that we have currently for the Fall 2022 Market Simulation Initiatives. And as you can see, since we are moving the dates for CMRI and Oasis, we have added a second day for Flexible Ramping Product Deliverability Project, and we added that date as 10/6. So we're still hoping to start it by 9/27 to the market simulation, but in any case, if you're not able to do so, then we have a second day scheduled for it. And as you can see here, the market simulation start date is also moved to 9/26 for FRP project. Anybody have any questions on these timelines?
Hey, Anshima, this is Stanley with PCI. Sorry, I was trying to unmute myself.
Go ahead, Stanley.
Do you have a later slide talking about any impacts to the settlement publication schedule based on these changes?
We have the system interface changes, but I don't think we are mentioning anything relating to settlements. But I have Trang here with me. So Trang, do you have an update on what about the questions by Stanley?
Stanley, sorry, were you asking about the markets and settlements calendar and any?
Correct. Yeah. So if these dates are changing, or is there going to be any updates necessary to the settlements calendar? Sorry, I probably should have phrased it that way the first time.
No, it's okay. I think that yes. So we are working with our settlements team. We've already kind of let them know what the risk that we saw in the later start of the market simulation, that we may need to extend the calendar to have additional trade dates. I don't want to confirm how far those will be extended yet until we get back with our team, but you can expect that we will have some trade dates into October. And actually Assad is on right now, maybe you can confirm. So the settlement calendar right now, Assad, can you remind us the latest settlement trade date? And then we can work with you offline to see how far we need to move that.
Hi, Frank. This is Assad. Now, currently the market sim calendar for release, the last day will be October 13th and will be published on the monthly October 11 to October 15 will be published on October 26. So the last week of market sim calendar, the last two trade dates, October 11 and October 13.
Yeah. Okay. So Stanley, right now, it's going through the previously communicated end date of October 14th, so the last day being the trade date of the 13th. Right now, we haven't confirmed any dates past that, but depending on us actually starting the market sims that are coming up and then seeing how those go, I think that we can kind of gauge then if we need to add anything additional from there. But I think we're open and to evaluating any requests based on the success or the execution of these market simulations, and then we can evaluate adding anything if we need to after that. Did you have any additional thoughts or requests at this point past the 13th trade date?
No, I think that's fine for right now. I just wanted to see, if you guys had thought about any possibilities for that. So yeah, it sounds like it's fine.
Yeah, thank you, Stanley. Yeah, we definitely thought about that as we saw more risk in the schedule. But once we start the market simulations and kick all these off, I think we'll have more certainty. And then, of course, we're always open to feedback as we start executing these. So thank you for the question.
Thank you.
Thanks, Asaf.
Thank you, Trang and Stanley. Is there any other questions regarding the timelines? All right, moving on. So for system interface changes, as you can see that we have moved the hybrid resources production date to 1st of December. Previously, it was 1st of November, and now, as we were talking about it in previous meeting, it's now 1st of December. Anybody have any questions regarding these date changes? All right, moving on. As you can see, for the CMRI and OSS systems, we have moved the production date to 12/1/2, which means that hybrid resources 2B, as well as the FRP improvements deliverability project, deployment date to production has moved to 12/1 also. Anybody have any questions regarding that?
So just a comment, Instrument, and maybe you can cover this again or reiterate in the project-specific slides. But we know the fall release has additional projects too. So as Instrument mentioned, we have confirmed the activation date for hybrid and FRP will be 12/1. The additional efforts that we have are RDRR phase 2, which I think at this time we're still finalizing that date because it doesn't have the same dependency as hybrid and FRP. So that one, as we work through the market simulation, that one still could be sometime in between November 1st and December 1st. And then for CPE, that maintains its current schedule as well. So just for clarity on the release date change, that's how it applies to the individual projects. And we can, again, just take any questions as we go through the individual slides too for clarity on that. But thanks, Adrian.
Thank you for the update, Trang. Anybody have any questions? All right, let's move on to our individual projects. For flexible ramping product deliverability, as I mentioned earlier, we're adding additional scenario execution date of 10/6. We have the scenario document available at the following link here, and now I'll open up if anybody have any questions regarding to this specific project. All right, moving on. For CPE project, we are still planning to move forward with our structured scenarios on 22nd. RA data has been copied over, and we have opened the provisioning request to map stage on 9/8. We're still accepting any RA plan submissions if you have for SIRA. We'll include those. And for production, the provisioning request will start on 3rd of October. Anybody have any questions regarding this project? All right, moving on. A few more information regarding the production deployment. As I mentioned earlier, we'll be opening provisioning request productions on 3rd of October. And then for CPE, must obtain the services of a certified scheduling coordinator. SEs will need to request a new SE ID to represent CPE and indicate the CPE name in the request. The new SCID is approved to be set up in master file, and a CPID is created and assigned for CP to be associated to the new SCID. And of course, you can contact serequest@kaiser.com if you have any further questions. Any questions from anyone here at this point? All right, moving on. Next we have is Hybrid Resources Phase 2B. We are still planning to do the scenarios on 4th of October, and the scenario document is available here in the link. And as I mentioned earlier, we have opened up master file right now, and we are in the process of uploading all the resources to the master file so that you can review them. So anybody have any questions regarding this project? All right, moving on. And we have more information for the ALS access provisions here on the slide. So anybody have any questions regarding the access provisions? All right, moving on. The last project we have is the Reliability Demand Response Resource Response Phase 2. We're still planning to do the scenarios on 29th of September, and the scenario document is available at the following link. Anyone have any specific questions regarding this project?
Instrument, this is Chinyu. Can you hear me?
Go ahead, Chinyu.
Yes, I do have two questions. For RDRR, understand the scenario is going to be run on September 29th. Do you know what point we shall expect the hours you're going to trigger the EAA condition?
I still don't have those hours, Chinyu, for you. I was still working on running the scenarios on our end. And once we have enough information, I would update you on the hours that we'll use on 9/29.
Okay, so can we get the information by end of next Monday so that we can also prepare some bids?
We'll do our best, Chinyu.
Okay, thank you. Second question, I think I did ask that earlier. Not sure I make myself clear, is that understand the CMRI and OASIS connectivity starting on September 26th. Just try to understand from what point on we shall see the market data in the reports.
Right, so Chinyu, when we deploy the code, right after that, as soon as any data is published, you should be able to see those results, after the code deployment is done. So for real time, you would see that data right away after deployment is done. For day ahead, it will be published for the next trading date.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody has any other questions? All right, let's move on. So for known issues, we are tracking the pending CD tickets. Currently, we have a few questions regarding the FRP projects regarding the CMRI report query, and it's still pending with our SME, and we're working to get an answer out for that. Anybody has any other CD tickets that they want us to track it or escalate? Please let me know. All right, well, that's all I had for today's conference. The next Market Sim call is on September 22nd at 2 p.m. I'll wait a couple of minutes to see if anybody have any other questions. All right, thank you, everyone. We'll see you back on September 22nd.
Thank you.